Listen. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Oh. Get that out of there. Of course, I'm on mute. It wouldn't be the start of the work week for me if I didn't start this on mute. But hey, everybody, it is your boy, Matty-Rants here. It is a rant report episode. I promise I won't take up too much of your time today, maybe an hour or less. But if you are here on this Good Thursday, then you got the notification and you may be trying to take a break from the horrific news cycle that has been plaguing a particular country, mine, at this point in time. So if you're here today, make some noise. Clap, 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 clap. Stadium, all that noise and all that good stuff. Because I am here just to talk about a few things today, hot topics, if you will, nothing that is currently taking place on any news network, unless you're talking about Pop Crave, because currently I'm a little bit fried, if you will, when it comes to the news, and I no longer it's getting worse every day, and it was to be expected, but it is, and it just has not been a great mental health week for me. My off days were spent doing way more things than I needed to be doing, rejection after rejection, of course. But also I was over here trying to get a lot of stuff together. There is, with things taking place currently, with my own health care and how things are operating, there was like a whole phone call I had to have the other day that was about 3 hours long about this is the new thing. This is with and a lot of it wasn't in my favor. So I had to do a whole bunch of new stuff. I had to do a whole bunch of new things. I've had to sign up for new programs that I barely even understand. It has really made my mind just go. So we're at this point, I don't even know what I got. I know I got something, but like, I don't even know what I got at this point in time because everything is not as ABC as it used to be or very easy. And of course, there are a lot of stuff that happened recently that's just been a lot. So I have unfortunately not been feeling the current news cycle universe. I even had a moment on Twitter where I, had to say my piece on some things because I just was like, I need to get something off my chest, in reference to a certain salute that happened. And I got attacked. Called slurs, called names, get out of my country, all of that. The one that I'm a citizen of, the one I was born in, the one that, all that kind of stuff. And it's just, so I've been dealing with insomnia this entire week. I have not slept a full 5 hours. So if you see a little bag under my eye, that is exactly what that's about. I'm stressing over, of course, paying my rent on the 1st, but also just getting things together on my own end. And like I said, there's a lot in the background happening right now. Sending some love to my family currently. We're dealing with some stuff. I've been also handling that. I know one of my cousins and my sister does pop in and watch these videos. So if they're listening to this right now, oh my God, I know. Because I've been having to it's been a lot. So I'm excited for this weekend. We have traders, we have drag race, we have the panel coming up, and I will be more than excited to cover some shows and just be able to have a good time with you here today. And also, just get our mind off of some certain things that are happening because it is getting real in the streets out there. So again, if you have an opinion, apparently we have freedom. I don't want to say it, but be careful because it's getting a little dark. And unfortunately, that's kind of what they wanted. So anywho, what are the topics today, Maddie? This is not a woe sort of picture and scenario situation. It's a hot topic conversation, and that's what we're going to do today. Lady Gaga has announced an album called Mayhem. We're going to talk about the track list and what we may look forward to, be excited where we're hoping this music direction goes, because I know there's a lot of Gaga fans out there. And I'm going to be front and center for that one because I actually like Lady Gaga. I do. I do. I wasn't a fan of the pink hat era. That wasn't for me. That hey, it's not for everybody. And there were times where I was like, no. But I did enjoy Chromatica. And I'm interested to see where this one falls into. And somehow Disease is a song. I swear. I don't know. I really hated it the first time I heard it. And now I'm like, you know what, girl? Yeah, girl. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't need the visual. I'm not gonna lie. I don't need the visual to like that song. I could just listen to it and I'll be like, okay, this actually gives me what I need. Because that visual for me was like, girl, now what is happening here in suburbia and all that kind of Matt, the deeper Matt. That's for you. You can dissect that bug. I will not. But we'll get into this new album track listing, what we're hoping for, and yeah, Lady Goo. The Challenge All-Stars Rivals. I have been asked to do challenge material for quite some time. I do start every now and then. Like I've tried before with certain seasons. I got to be honest with you, as much as I've been watching the challenge before it was called the challenge and when it was used to be called Real World versus Road Rules, I'm that old, okay? And I was there from the jump, just like with Drag Race. I was there from the jump. So for me, this becomes repetitive to the point where I'm like, I can't. However, I always end up watching every damn season. And I watched 40 and I hated 40. That's why I'm glad I didn't cover it, because I feel that I would have just been going off the entire time about it. And to be fair, with Rivals, I'm going to drag this too, because the first episode was ridiculous. What? An hour for a challenge show? Oh my God. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you a recap today of the episode. I'm not going to go into a full deal spiel review. If you come to the Rant Reports, for those of you who are challenge heads, this is where I'll be covering it. I will be giving it about 30 minutes of my time or more, depending upon how much took place that episode. So if you want to get the challenge, we're going to do it on Rant Report episodes. It'll be hot topics, a little recap of the show, giving my opinions on A, B, C, D, who should win 3C, you know, the rest of it. And we'll go on from there. And I'm mad that I, by memory, know who won a star. And I was trying to write down my notes, but I got caught up on the phone earlier because my power company was like, girl, pay the bill. And I'm like, sister, I got 5 days. I'm trying to handle this money. I got to pay rent too. A single father of one. My January YouTube check was terrible. Now, February, we're back on track. February is actually going to be wonderful. I saw my February check and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be able to pay everything and then have my money to put in my savings. Thank you. Unlike this January check, because by all means, it was just really not a great October, November, December on this channel. It just was not. It was not. And so December's check that went into January was like, oof, I knew. I was like, ah. So that's why this month I said, you know what, Matt, let's pump up the blazons. Let's not be so sad about it. You are doing everything in the background. You're supposed to be doing everything they're criticizing you for. Just keep trying. You will get something out there eventually. You will get the car back up and do whatever you got to do. But I can't take a fool's opinion of me that doesn't know what I'm doing, but also tries to be mad and throw and project and all that kind of stuff. I'm just not going to do all that. So I'm watching it on MTV. That is where I'm seeing it. Ashley's, right? I'm watching it on MTV, like how I watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and it comes on Wednesdays in the normal challenge segment that they do, like they did with the Challenge 40 on Wednesdays at like 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. The difference is that the show is on for an hour and not 90 minutes when the episodes are normally about 90 minutes or even 2-hour episodes, because there's a lot to cover in the challenge and there's a lot of people that are on the show. And I know it's an all-stars like season, but to me, it used to be on Paramount Plus. It was much easier to see on Paramount Plus because we were able to, like, you know, get into the like spiel of it, like watch it at our own time. But now it's on MTV. I don't know if MTV is trying to push it because it's Rivals as a season. Mina Co. You don't think I can't hear you? All right. We'll talk about the challenge. I'll break down the episode. I'm starting to go down my spiel of the challenge stuff right now, but I do know everybody who was on this cast. I do have a visual of that. And I'm actually familiar with each one of their seasons. So I do have background on everybody as far as what's going down. Minako, hold on, y'all. Now, young lady, and we talked about this because your nails have now broken the film on this patio. Hi. Hey, no, you need to get out from under there. I don't appreciate that. Are there cats outside? No, I don't see no cats outside. Ain't that crazy? You hungry? Come on over here. Mamu, good boy. Come here, young lady. Because the amount of hat I've had. Here you go. There's wet food still in your bowl, but I'm putting the dry in there just in case you want it. Now, if I hear you again, we are going to have a problem, and I have to talk to you even more. And I know you hate that. I know you hate when I give speeches. You want to know how I get my cats together? I give them a speech. Who's putting hands on who? They're animals, and their cats are vengeful. I ain't going to never do that. But I give a speech. And they know once I get into where you going, no, we're going to talk. Even when they run under the bed, I will open that bed up and lay right there and go, you know, you were wrong. You know what you did was wrong, right? Let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation. Don't give me kids. Do not give me, don't let me have children. My children will be well behaved, but they're definitely not going to ever want to like get into it with me because the breakdowns I will do is going to be ugly. Like, see, well, let's talk about where you went wrong. That's how I'm going to do with my kids. Let's get I dare them because I'm gonna get a PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna be that petty. Like, here you go. Click. I'm gonna take you back to Windows 98 days, mother. And see, now she over here checking on the water. You getting some Wawa? Hold on, let me put some extra in there. Let me put some extra. I know I see you. I'm gonna put some extra in there, okay? Because you don't want to use the fountain. So here. Yeah. I've had to put the water in the bottles and feed them that way. They don't like seeing me put the water from the faucet. So I've had to trick them lately and then put the water in a bottle. Any bottle. Do you hear me? It's getting weird. And I'm like, oh my God, please God give me some grace because they're driving me a little bit. We're good on food, but it's those moments. I've watched them not drink that water and dead ass wait for me to go get something else because they like to see me and then get in almost like it's a science project with some kindergartners. And they want me to pour the water with them there. Like they got to see it going in. They got to see it. I love my daughter. I love my fur baby. I love my fur baby girl. I love her down. Attitude. Attitude makes a noise at the flinch at the movement of anything. Do not make a sound. Like a whole alarm clock. Like just everything. Everything. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You look at me crazy because you know I'm talking about her. Okay, hold on. All right. Let's get back to this here. Let me get back to the show. My apologies. I know some people are like, this guy's talking about this. Yes, I am. This is for the Rant Pack. We have fun. It's called the Rant Report. Oh my gosh. Who comes here just for little stuff? Who comes here for a 5-second opinion? Shush. It doesn't exist on this channel. Never has. No, it hasn't. So there you go. Let's do my beginning intro and then let's get started into this program today. It is Matty-Rants, and we're watching the Rant Report, hot topics, and all that good sort of stuff today. Lady Gaga, the Challenge All-Stars Rivals, and Blink Twice. Y'all have been trying to get me to go see that. I finally saw the movie. I need to talk about it. I have to talk about it. I'm mad I didn't see it to talk about it when it initially came out, but I don't think you would have needed to hear me on the initial go, because I would have. I need to speak about this movie and how I was like, oh, and then also like, what? At the same time, I have so many opinions. I had to get on the phone with Bleecker to have a discussion about the film because it took me, the trigger warning was necessary at the beginning of the movie. That I'm gonna say was, I'm glad they put a trigger warning at the beginning of the movie. I was like, oh, okay. We're about to see some shit that's not okay. And it wasn't when I saw the parts that did happen. However, there are, and Felicia, I know you haven't seen it, so I'm going to do my absolute best to not spoil the movie today for you. But I need to get out some thoughts on some things that made not a lick of sense. And there's also the way the film was shot was beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. I'm not even gonna lie. Color scale, if you watch the movie, don't watch it in filmmaker mode. If you got your TV set like that, you put that baby on vivid. We're talking about Blink Twice with Channing Tatum, and I believe, is it Naomi Eki? She was in the Whitney Houston movie. Say what you need to say about it. I still want people, well, depending on if there's a trauma that you suffered before in your life, you may want to skip it, because like some parts of that, I don't feel like there was a real resolution to a particular scene, and that kind of bothered me a little bit, because there was so much emphasis on what are they doing and what's going on, and there's actually not a full resolution that I thought was like consumable. It was like, oh, okay, and then that happened. It was like, all right, okay, but it's not a scary movie at all. So if you're thinking, oh my god, is this some scary film? No, it's very thriller, very what's happening, we don't know what's going on, very much that. So it's not a scary movie at all. So if you're like, I don't do scary movies, you do not need to worry. There is a lot of graphic shit in the film, but like it's not super scary by any means. I know some people, it's like, mm-mm. So yes, we're going to do Gaga Challenge, Blink Twice as a movie review. I'm also going to give some thoughts and opinions on some other stuff that I saw recently that came out with the new Spider-Man show on Disney Plus that I'm either going to watch or not watch. I have seen a bit of Skeleton Crew. I do want to give my opinions on what Star Wars is doing wrong. I should say Disney, but we'll do all of that. There's some other hot topics I did want to get into. I know Naisha Lopez had made some comments about Joella's local bar queen, sort of exit line. That was a quote from RuPaul's Drag Race, a previous season. Some people are saying she's taking it too seriously. Some people are like, you're not looking at the overall effect of what that means. And it goes into so much. So we'll talk about that. There's also a new show that's on Out TV coming out, Drag House, which I think looks very interesting. I noticed the guy who's a part of the show is also the one that hosts the shows at Mickey's. So I was like, oh, okay. But there's a lot of the roster today. We got things to talk about. So thanks for tuning in and being here. My links are in the About section. If you do want to hit them up, please and thank you. I'm asking you to do me a favor and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become a part of this Rant Pack family. As a reminder, because these opinions can be a little real, this program's for entertainment purposes only, and content's not intended to malign any religion, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All my opinions are just mine. They're solely my personal views. They don't reflect your views or opinions of a human being, so don't take them too seriously. Do not send hate to anybody that we talk about today or individuals mentioned on this program. Grab your libations and strap in. I'm a little bit of a talker. Don't post any spoilers in the chat. The last line is for now, if you did want to drop a little tippy poo in my jar, please and thank you. Listen, your boy is a little short. We're trying to pull some coin tots together for rente. I won't have this conversation again with you in February based off of that chord, but my check will roll. So if you did want to drop a tippy poo, it's going to a good cause. Please and thank you. PayPal.me/MattyRants, catch up with MattyRants, MattyRants. I will see you every day this weekend, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow we have traders to talk about. I am praying. I don't know why I'm praying, because I'm like, the trailer looks like it's going to be chaos, but I'm praying for not a horribly cringy episode of why are they doing this for traders this week. the episode comes on tonight, I will have that reaction posted on my Patreon in the morning, Friday morning. Yeah, Thursday morning? What is today? Friday morning is when I'll have that posted for you. And for season 17 of Drag Race, I'll have that up Friday night on my Patreon for you. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, thank you. Thank you. The challenge will be added to the menu. I didn't do the first episode because I'll be real with you. I was walking around while I was watching this episode. I was like, this seems kind of long-winded and fast at the same time, and that is going to be one of my critiques about it. But starting with episode 2, because again, the way it ended, I was like, what? I'd rather start my reactions for episode 2. So if you are on my Patreon, get ready for challenge reactions as well. I will be doing the entire Rivals season. Oh yes, all the other stuff is in the about section. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Again, if you want to drop it to people in my jar, please and thank you. PayPal.me/MattyRants, Cash App @SimonRants, and Venmo Matty-Rants. I could be a doctor, I could be a disease. I could be a watch by the news. Let me down like 1, 2, 3. My name is Stephanie Germani. Non-bread. Non-bread. Is it sad that in my mind, I need y'all to know that I don't know the words to a lot of songs. And I know the words to a lot of songs. Does that make sense? I like to make up my own things every now and then when it comes to music. And there are a few times, even at Beyonce songs in a concert, where I was reprimanded at one point in time. That's not what the song is. I'm like, bitch, I'm doing my own thing. Calm down. ADHD at the hyper level. Like, let me have it. Okay. Sometimes I'm just like, it sounds like she's saying bread, so it's bread. It sounds like she's saying jam, so it's jam. Mayonnaise. Like that. I can't help it. I would take this song and make it about the whole entire food pyramid if I could. Oils and sugars, please. Like, please. If I could, I would, but I don't have the patience because I'm not Stephanie. That didn't make a lick of sense. Not a lick, not a lack. I don't have my watch at all. I don't have my watchy at all. Thank you, TW, for the first tippy poo of the day. We're putting that towards the hill we're trying to chip at right now. We're chipping a little bit at that hill. Thank you, D. 5 for the live, 5 for traders, and 5 for drag race. Well, thank you, Puddin' Pop. I appreciate you. Thank you for the tippy poo on Cash App. Thanks, love. And you know what, Ashraf, you did a super chat earlier. My bad. Again, I swear to God, I saw someone in my panel chat. Does he just not look at super chats? And it's such a way to, it does get my attention, but it's also a slap in my face because I promise you, I am not ignoring anybody. The only people I would try to ignore are people who come in here and just are on some bullshit. And y'all know that tea. Okay. But like, I am not purposely ever ignoring these. Honey, you're paying. Come on. Remember, hashtag pay my bills. I'm just saying. I don't think you do. So you can go right back and do this again. Da-da-da-da-da-da. But thank you, Ashraf. I appreciate you, baby. Future Dairy Queen. As I fight to never be pre-diabetic again. Thank you. No, it's the truth. It would be for Baskin and Robbins only because Baskin and Robbins actually has sugar-free ice cream, and their sugar-free ice cream is it's so fucking good. Your stomach is going to be flipping that night, but it's worth it, baby. The gas is worth it. Sorry, I'm basically turning into an Indian auntie, making sure everyone eats. Honey, I appreciate it. To be fair with you, I've lost more weight than I wanted to. And while I've been working out and all that, okay, let me see here. I think, can I show the bod? Like, it's hard, honey. Like, you hear me? I'm also like, I need to gain at least 10 more pounds back, but protein drinks are extremely expensive. And D can tell you this because me and Darnell go to the grocery store. And every time I go in there, I'm looking for a sale on the protein drinks. There's never one. And when there is one, they don't have the flavors you want because some ass got all the strawberries. You got all the strawberry flavors. I'm not drinking vanilla because I love myself. I'm not drinking chocolate because who wants a mud river turning into a mud avalanche later? I don't think so. It's disgusting. But like also in a fun way of describing what could be. Yeah. So I need 10 more pounds. Look at me. I'm so the opposite of Regina George this moment. I need to gain 10 more pounds because I want it to get in my chest. Because I'm doing a lot of chest working out right now. That's what I'm doing a lot of this. I've upped the push-ups. I can do 200 push-ups now. I'm sorry that I'm like bragging about this, but that's a fucking big deal for me. Bitch, I have never been good with my arms. My arm muscles have always been I can do 200 now. I'm dying. At the least the 150 part, and I'm doing one of these. Let me take a pause for a second and do another 25, but still, bitch. I did 200 this morning and I was proud of myself. My arms still hurt. But yes. So we got the sit-ups to 202. Squats are still at the 120 range because I do like 4 sets of 30 with those. But then like I'll do the donkey kicks and that's like 30, but you do 2 sets of 30 for both like donkey kicks back and fire hydrants for. I really need to make a workout video. And I feel like I do use my apartment's gym, but I also don't like using it because it faces directly out into the street and shit. And as much as I'd like to go work out at night, the lights are on in there, and I'm not trying to have somebody case me out unless they're fine and not crazy. Those two things go fine and not crazy because I've met fine and crazy. That's not okay. Okay, you don't need that. I have to, it's my, okay, I woke up, I can sit in the bed and not do anything, or I could do something. And that's the motivation I have right now. And if that's what you need to tell yourselves in the morning, I'm in the bed, I have time. How much time do I have? How many minutes can I dedicate to just moving my body for a second? I go grab some water, hydrate the fuck, okay? And then I'm like, I'm going to give 45 minutes, and that 45 minutes turns into an hour for me because I make my own schedule. But you kind of have to do that thing where it's like, where in the day can I just make a little moment for myself to just do something, and then it not be anything to do with TV, or if you want to watch TV, put that in front of you and work out in front of the television. I do it all the time. I'm watching girl world shit while I'm working out. Do you know that's the biggest motivator to work out for me is watching girl world stuff on Chantel and ALR? Oh my God. I be bump. Whoa! Those videos do the opposite for me. They do the opposite. I don't get hungry, sweetie. I get like, let's start working out because ain't no way. Not gonna happen. Nope. I will not be sitting here on camera acting like this. So I do that, and I also listen to certain podcasts and stuff like that. And I have my little workout mix. But yeah, just make some time in the day. Just, I don't know. It's easier said than done, but it's that moment when you just start doing it. Just start first and then slowly work up. And also you don't have to go hard and ham immediately. So many people mess that up. I'm gonna start working. No, know your body. Take your time, sweet pea. Do not overwork yourself, because then if you get to the point where you're like so hurt and sore, you're gonna be like, I don't want to work out. I'm in pain. No, start small and then work your way up. Increase your sets, increase your reps and all that kind of stuff. But sorry, Ashraf, back to this. I'm sorry. Thank you for talking about the challenge. I'm so excited. Yes, I'm also rooting for Davon for my challenge people, by the way. So if you're a challenge person, I'm a Davon #1 stan over here. I kind of hope her and Shane do the big one. I kind of need them to lock in, to be honest. I'd be here for a gay and a queen to win this season. I would kind of be living for that. I know it's not going to be Turbo because he's, that kind of guy. Anywho, to Lady Gaga. We got Mayhem coming up. It's going to be a March release, so that means we don't have to wait long at all. Thank God. I'd also like to mention she did have a visual come out. 2 visuals actually, Die with a Smile and this. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But I like Die with a Smile. I'm not losing my grip on reality like a lot of people are, but it is a very beautiful song. It's almost a little too sad for me at times because I'm like, I don't got nobody like that in my life right now, so I can't relate. But yes. It's a great song. I prefer the other one because she gave me a little gay dance music. But listen, she posted a little mini uh, cryptic video about the album announcement. We also see that she's pushing for a cameo in Sing 3, maybe as the chameleon. So they may be recasted, or she could be on Drag Race. What's going on here? Okay. So in one direction, it's Perla. In the other direction, it's Santa. I'm just kidding. But no, Mama's got the title tracks that came up like this. I thought were very cool. I was like, okay, this is actually very cool promo. Gaga. I was like, okay, this is kind of see you next Tuesday. Made me excited for the album and what is in store. Let's talk about some of the track names here. Matthew, where it I remember what I did. I put a bookmark on Twitter, which I'm gonna have to get off of Twitter. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you follow me on Twitter, and I have a lot of people who I'm happy follow me that are verified or famous, but I don't know if I can do it anymore. And I've talked about it, I really have, but I don't. Man, I don't. Ugh. Ugh. All right, let's talk about the track list. Disease is the first one. Abracadabra is the name of one of the songs. I think that actually sounds cool. I think she teased that as the next single. Garden of Eden, Perfect Celebrity, Vanish Into You, Killa, featuring Gesaffelstein. I'm hoping I said that correctly. Zombie Boy, Lover Drug. How bad do you want me? I hope it's not. How bad do you want me, babe? I hope it's not that the whole song. How bad do you want me? How bad do you want me? How bad do you want me? Oh, not the dating app telling me, hey, are you looking for fun right now? Log in and tap in, bitch. Like, listen, don't do that. Okay. The world is on fire right now. I definitely need somebody in the bed next to me. Okay. Listen, back to this. How bad do you want me? Why should it be that? How bad do you want me? Oh, no. Don't Call Tonight, Shadow of a Man, The Beast, Blade of Grass. Oh God, if a Christian gets near the song The Beast, you know what that's going to be turned into. She's talking about the devil. Blade of Grass. Sounds like it's going to be a slowed one. That's going to be a slow ballad, honey. Blade of Grass. Blade of Grass doesn't even sound like it's going to be an up tempo. No way. It's giving me very, very broken down, very deconstructed tease. And then, of course, Die with the Smile is the last song on the album. That's 14 tracks. Pink Panthers, you'd be excited to hear this. Not one song looks like it's under 2 minutes. And actually, no song is under 3 minutes. The shortest song is 3 minutes and 14 seconds. And the longest song is about 4 minutes and 18 seconds, actually. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Excuse me. Oh, so I'm going to be happy that we get full music. Great. This is why I enjoyed Cowboy Carter so much, because every song was a song. Every song was a song. Like, you don't know how happy I was for Two Hands to Heaven. That bitch went on for a minute. And I was like, please don't let it stop. Just let it keep on going, girl. Changed up the whole beat and everything. I was like, ah. You think a double album, Jason? Because they're talking about there are alternative covers that she's going to be releasing. I already know there's going to be a vinyl. There's definitely going to be a deluxe in the work. Maybe double. We might see. I just know that she won't throw 3 billion different versions of this out. You know what I'm saying? For no apparent reason. But I wish Gaga luck on this journey. I know that, art pop deserved so much better. that is still my favorite project she's ever worked on. Even though Chromatica gave me my life and Replay is still forever going to be that girl for me as one of her best songs to ever grace my ears. And I have played it into infinity and beyond on top of 1,000 doves. I need you to listen to me. Please don't leave me. Catch me when you fall. Mm. I need you to, baby, is inside. I'm sorry. Oh, I have to listen to Chromatica after this, just for those 2 songs in particular. Oh, I cried 1,000 times. I was like, does anyone hear the message? I need you to. Oh my gosh. Set me free. Y'all not hearing me. I actually look like Madonna in this. Well, a version of Madge, if you will. Whatever was in the cryo tube. Yeah, so Lady Gaga's got an album coming out called Mayhem, I believe March 7th. We got the track titles already. There is going to be allegedly a new music video is going to be dropping Sunday, and maybe for Abracadabra or Monday. Not quite sure. I think Sunday. Someone was like, "Oh, she's dropping on Sunday. How could she do this?" Some people want to move the barometer. Beyonce did it when she dropped that album on Friday, and then everyone was like, "What was that about?" And then she changed the game. So maybe if y'all throw some magic in there, abracadabra, she could do that too. And the girls start releasing music on Sunday, the Lord's Day. I know the current administration would never let that happen. But yeah, shouts to Gaga. I'm excited. Very excited. We need to talk about this. We do. We do. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become part of this Rant Pack family. I appreciate you so much for being here today. You want to drop a tippy poo in my jar? It's paypal.me/MattyRants. Cash App $Simon-Rants. Venmo MattyRants. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the early tippy poos. We got to talk about rivals. And I can break down this episode very easily because nothing happened, if I'm going to be honest with you. Hold on just a second. So the challenge comes from Real World versus Road Rules, and Real World is a show that was on MTV about 7 strangers picked to live together to learn their blah, 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 you know, the rest of it. And then Road Rules was almost on the same sort of like level as that, except they would travel around in an RV around like the United States or go to a specific country where they were allowed to film in and do physical challenges or puzzles and earn money along the way, and then also kick out people if they needed to and add others on the road. It was a very interesting time in the 90s on MTV. We were blessed in the 90s with MTV, maybe a tad bit in the early 2000s, but then it fell off somewhere in the 10s. Okay. So that's where the challenge comes from. The newer shows, which again stems from the challenge and all this extra stuff, has now incorporated shows like X on the Beach or Big Brother. Everything that falls under the Paramount umbrella has now fallen into this sort of show. Okay. Everybody who's on the show is from a particular season, this, that, and the other. And they're all coming back. Not everybody's a winner. I don't think any, except for Ashley. Who else won on this show? Was it Turbo? I'm not sure if Turbo won. I know Ashley won because her. Ashley has one of the most iconic moments in challenge history where after suffering through literally the entire challenge with her teammate who basically just called her names and berated her and talked about her like she was a piece of shit, but also Ashley, let's be very honest, you were at moments doing the most. You were, but he definitely shouldn't have been talking to you the way he was talking to you, and he was dogging you the entire season. Like literally at the end of it all, this is gonna gag y'all. They had the option, and this is why Rivals is such like a thing, because I believe Ashley won on her rival season, right? This was like I don't know if it was a rivals or it was just a team. I forget that season specifically if it was rivals or if it was just teams or whatever. But like sometimes they always do boy girl teams or whatever. That's how they do. Whenever we do guy teams, like I see here on the challenge, I'm like, all right, girl, we'll see how this goes. But anywho, she had the choice to choose because of how well she performed at the time. I forget, wasn't that it? It was like based off of how they performed at the end. The partners got to make the decision because the same thing happened with Bananas and Sarah. And Bananas took the money from Sarah. I can't say took because technically he had the decision that he could make from it, but like he did that. Sarah, of course, has held that grudge forever. Bananas is bananas. It is what it is. Ashley did that same thing to Hunter. I felt it was deserved personally. That grudge has been held forever. Forever. And the thing is if you're like, Matt, this sounds like a lot of lore and this kind of sounds like really good TV. This is where our hate for Trishelle comes from. When we talked about Trishelle and the Traitors, this is where my disgust for her comes from because I was literally watching the episode that the day of live when she was talking about Anissa pick a struggle, being a Jewish, Black, or a lesbian. Like, yes, all of that. I was there for all of that. Okay. I was there for the Real World Vegas when she was on there and when she get drunk and sometimes those comments would go, please don't get me started. So like, yes, I have watched pretty much all of the Real World seasons until the last 2 seasons that ever happened with the Real World. I did not partake in those because I was doing multiple things. I also was in a relationship at the time. I didn't have time to watch TV like that. And then I think even for Road Rules, I watched every single one of those. Paramount Plus has almost all of them. And look, even Nerdigan, thanks babe for putting this up here. Pluto TV streaming challenges seasons 10 through 30. Oh, 10, honey, you gotta start. Oh, please go back to the earlier seasons. See, there are a lot of people who are not on the show anymore because they either grew up and don't want to be under the MTV umbrella and weren't doing well. So it's like, why am I going to come back and just get embarrassed every single time, right? Or there are some people who just move away from it. And there's some people who are banned from coming back. And it's not even talked about, even though people in the challenge universe know about it because there were some things that were happening on set that were not okay. I bring up Tanya as a prime example and what people were doing to her, allegedly. So, anywho, let's talk about some teams. Katie and Veronica are not posted on here because at the initial start of this season, Katie was just there by herself. And TJ, I know who you are. As much as I look at TJ and go, it's so cool. He's been doing this show for such a long time. Da 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 da. When I see you, I know your views. I see you as a host. Absolutely. The way you carry, I know exactly. I know who you are outside that show. So I'm just gonna say I don't care if you're outside the show. I'm just gonna say for it. When I tell you I look at that man and every time I see him speak, I'm like, bro, I know what podcasts you listen to. I know who you give your money, honey. When I say I don't even got to look you up. I can just feel that energy from you. So I'm just like, okay, great, he's back, whatever. Anywho, everybody here is a rival for a particular reason. Adam and Steve, that was from the last All-Stars. And it had to do with Steve stealing Adam's star, which if y'all remember, Adam completely crashed out over that. He did. Bitch, he crashed out over that. Like, he was upset. Could not believe it. Fuck him. I mean, it was right before they went into like a fight. I remember it was like literally right before we needed to go where it needed to go. But Adam was also a dick nugget back then. So, you know, did you notice, Nerdigans, or anybody else that watched this first episode? They replayed Adam's line twice for Steve. He should listen to me. See, if you didn't take my star the last time, then we could have won the season, or one of us could have won together. They played that line twice. I was like, bro, what is going on here? Why y'all replaying over like voiceovers? What's happening? Didn't care for that. But Adam and Steve being a team, I sometimes feel a ways when they do this, and I don't want to do the men and women sort of bit and misogyny or whatever life. But sometimes I feel it's weird when they put certain people on teams because I'm like, there is no way y'all as a team are going to win this physical challenge. And it has nothing to do with you being a woman. It has to do with your physical form and how I know you can't move, Beth. Beth looks like she should be sitting on a couch somewhere on the end of it with Andy Cohen as a host, talking about, you said something about this person at that. I'm looking at Beth like, I don't know why you keep coming back to this. You look silly. Mark does too. I like Mark, but Mark is also a producer on the show. So I also squint at him when I see him pop up on the show, because I'm like, no, you need to be in the background now, man. Because like you are clearly a part of production. Why would you be in the fray of all of this? That makes no sense to me. You know too much. Like it takes away a bit of the authenticity for me. But let's get back to it. So Adam and Steve are a team they're rivals because of the thing that happened in the last All Stars. Then you have Amber and Fessel. Can I tell you that I was the most happy when Amber won? The happiest I've been when Amber won that season with CT. I'm not even going to lie. Like, the way her Big Brother team did her was so fucking dirty. I love that she's with Chauncey too. Amber, Chauncey's fine. Go off, sirs. Unfortunately, I have seen the pictures. Yeah, girl. All right. I know why you got that baby. Let's go in. I know it was around. It was just blah. Let me stop. Oh no. Once upon a time, not long ago, Maddie found Chauncey's nudes. As well as Nelson's too, when Nelson's had an OnlyFans. But yeah, I used to be digging around looking for, so I was like, oh, where's this pop up? And it was funny because some guy who posted it didn't even know that's who it was. And I was like, oh, I know who this is, and this is me. Let's backtrack, search the photo. Oh, here comes from this. Oh, but that was in the younger days. Yeah. Anywho, I don't know. That video was recent, a couple of years, like 2 years ago. Anyhow. Yeah, Fessel's a dick, and as fine as a lot, like he gets puss. Let's call it what it is. Like he do be running the game in terms of that, but he's also being sort of like a dick nugget, if you will. Very everybody's old. I should win. I'm peak performance, former football, blah 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 blah. And I like Fussell because he is a competitor and I respect it as a former athlete myself. I am all about competition. I love being competitive when it comes to stuff like that. And do not get me out in the field, because as much as you can be like, oh, I like these people. No, I'm going to beat them and you're going to hate me. And that's just how that's going to be. I used to love that, especially when I ran track. Because I had people like calling me names and stuff before I'd even hit the blocks, and let me smoke them. Bitch, please. I'd have my hands out like this on purpose, crossing the finish line like that on purpose. I'm like, oh my God, I won. Used to do that. I used to troll, girl, because I'm like, oh, yo, I ain't going to punk me, baby. I will rock you. Like, please, about that life. Regardless of all that, I respect that energy and the competitiveness from Fessy, but like, he was so messy. He was always trying to like focus on the veteran players, which y'all have to understand when you're a newbie coming into a challenge game, you have to look at who's in the house. If you are not with the vets, you're more than likely going to be targeted and it's going to be an ugly game for you. The only way you are going to secure some sort of safety in any situation as a newbie in a challenge is to get all the vets out immediately. Not even leave one of them. You get them all out, because when you leave a vet in the house, they do that. I've been here. I've done this. This is how it's supposed to go. It's a hierarchy. And what they're not getting, and this is why I hate the challenge sometimes, is that the veterans are doing this. We get to stay longer and get the longer check. Because in reality, like, I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm not going to say for the challenge, but from a conversation I had when I was auditioning for a show, there is a you are there fee, and then there's like how long are you there kind of fee, if you get my drift. Like, okay, well, you've been here for this long, well, thanks for being here. And then there's some people where there's bonuses that they last longer, and it has applied to certain shows. So for me, when I think about that with the vets, I'm like, y'all are just trying to make sure y'all get the same coin tots coming in here. There are other people who, I'm not trying to spill tea, but some folks I have heard got paid more because of them being popular and because what they bring to the show versus others who get like a set amount, if you will. I have heard, I don't know if that's true for the challenge. I've heard this for different shows. I've heard it for this. I've heard it for other reality TV shows, if you will, when it comes to like all-star situations or like come back, like, hey, you were on the show. We want to bring you back. And it's like, okay, let's negotiate because what are you paying them and who am I to this franchise and blah, 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 blah. Like I've heard of it before, but it's not always true. And sometimes it is. So, there we go. Because of the traders, there was a lot of discussion about drag race contestants going on to other reality TV shows, and people are saying that they're messing up the show. And I'm like, no, baby, it's you who are messing up the show. Big Brother fans are majority racist, if you will. Survivor fans are on the level of some shit. Drag Race fans, do we need to spin the wheel and talk about it? Like, you go into any fandom, it's going to be some bullshit. Watch Housewives of Beverly Hills and see how much of a hard-on they have for Garcelle. And how they think that Boz is now the black answer for Garcelle. Please get in the comment section. It is wild to read the shit I'm reading because Boz is just a businesswoman who also happens to be black that's on the show that agrees with Dorit. Garcelle is on Kyle's side, which is odd. But like, we don't have to like Garcelle, but to do the whole good, Boz can replace Garcelle. Oh, so we just the Negro, that card's filled then? Okay. I see what we're doing there versus it being a place that they both can exist and have just different points of view. It's wild, but I hate to do this, but the challenge was known for that a little bit with the way certain eliminations would happen. And you can disagree with me, but bitch, we can go down the line of seasons and talk about first outs, and we can talk about people who go home early and who are targeted early. We can. We can do it. We can do it. I was like, spin the wheel. Person of color or gay? I'm not even playing with you. It would be if one newbie came in and looked swole, they're like, get him out now. Get him out now because he's gonna he'll be popular. Fuck him. A gay comes in. Oh, well, he's a layup. So one of y'all can go against him and then come back in because gay. Like that was literally the challenge for the majority of the early seasons. And then like don't get me started on the women. Don't get me started. If you weren't the peak athlete with a training bra, oh bitch, with a sports bra, training bra, oh no, honey. Who's going far? Who's gonna happen? Then there were particular contestants that I felt were a part of the social game where they didn't even do well, but because they were hooking up with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they're not gonna be called out. Challenge is messy if you go back in the old days, but let me get back to it. Speaking of, and this is actually the perfect segue into the next two people outside of Amber and Fessy. Anissa and Ashley M. What is this pairing? Is this from Podcast Beef? What is this? Anissa, my darling. I'll never forget the story that Blake told me about you and how you inappropriately, okay, great. You grabbed him and I'll never forget that story. Do y'all remember the story that Blake talked about where he said Anissa that pinched him and gave him a compliment, and Blake was like, I don't like what girl? And it was this whole moment. I think that's wild because apparently they were in the same city. But I laugh about that every day. I laugh and think about that story every time. Blake tells great stories. So listen, Anissa and Ashley M. Now, I know Anissa from the early challenge days and also from her Real World season. I've been watching her for the first bisexual, lesbian, straight, lesbian, bi, lesbian, full on, this is me, identity, Anissa. So I've been very much paying attention to Anissa. I've seen her literally rise and expand in life, if you will. Ashley. Love Ashley at times. Other times I'm like, she's doing too much and she don't even realize it. But other times I'm like, Ashley's clocked in, go for the gold, connect four. I can be a fan sometimes of Miss Ashley. But this rivalry, I was like, I would rather Hunter be there and Ashley be paired with Hunter again. This to me felt very forced and like, I don't know why she's on the show. Mo. Listen, but that's how we describe Anissa now. It's like, you know what? It's nice to see her growth through the years on this show. It's nice to see it. It's nice to see that her ankles are not doing the same thing, nor her kneecaps, nor her muscles in her legs, nor the bones in her body. When I tell you that you don't have no business being on this show no more. And it has everything to do with you not being in shape. And that's the tea. There have been some big dogs that have been running in this game and have been very good at what they do, but they also work out. They're not chiseled. You don't have to be that. But Anissa does not work out prior to these. And when she does, it's bullshit. And I know it's bullshit because I'm watching it like, you're over here, girl, like you do know the final run is like 8 miles, if that. On top of you swimming, on top of you kayaking, God forbid, what else you got to do? You're telling me that's what you got it, Anissa. You're about to be, come on now. Like, please let this go. Let it go. I like her a lot. I was a huge fan of Anissa's. I've been, she's always fun for me on the show. Sometimes when she was messy, even when she was wrong, I was always a big fan of hers. But like, Ashley, I was trying to remember what Ashley said on season 37 because I remember when she got kicked off. Was that towards Josh? Was that the one where they were like she was trying to clock Josh's tea? I can't remember. Um, but no, I don't know why Anise is there, and it's sad to see her once again go into this show going, I'm gonna give it my best, and then be like, I tried. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You could have. You're not too old for this. You're not too old for this, and you're not too old to get everything that you want in terms of if you want to win this show. I just wish you actually put in some effort for it, if you will, because I don't see it. But she's a good time gal, and I enjoy her on TV. I'm like, she's there to go home. That's basically it. And I'm like, Ashley's talking about, I don't feel like a millionaire. You better hope they switch rivals. You better hope there's a switch. You better hope there's a I have to be your partner situation. Oh, you better hope. Because I don't see you winning the season, sweetheart. No shade. I don't see you. And it is because of Anissa, and it also could be because of you. So it was about Josh. Okay, yeah. So the tea that Ashraf is talking about with Ashley M and her getting kicked off of season 37 is that allegedly she was making homophobic remarks to Josh, who is the Big Brother contestant. Josh, the tall one who cries often. Josh is actually hot, but I also Josh can be messy sometimes. Don't let me find out that man is bi. uh, let me stop. I'm clearly single and in heat, and this is not a good time for me. But MTV didn't want to address it. They just sort of removed her from the show. They cut all the footage, and I allegedly, like it was by his request because he was afraid his family was going to disown him or some shit like that, or something about it was truthful that was said. It was a little weird. Like that's the alleged stuff. They were saying some of it had truth, to be honest with you, and that's why they were trying to like cover it up or save face in that moment. I don't know. It's not my story, but I don't like it when someone's first get back at them is like homophobia, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you look like you have fetal syndrome. What the fuck is wrong? What are you talking about, bitch? Like you got some nerve. Now, if I said that kind of stuff, how dare you? My mom, like, I don't like that. We can say this, but you can't say that kind of crap when it comes to these things. And so Ashley did deserve to get kicked off. But at the same time, I'm like, you brought her back and you're not addressing the tea. What's that about? Everybody knows who watches the show what that it's about, honey. Like, so what's going on there? I don't think this is a real rival shit. I think this is very producer. I heard y'all don't like each other. We want to put you on the show, but we couldn't get the people we wanted to get you with. So here you go. Because I've never really heard of these two not liking each other outside of just being like, okay, well, you're not my kind of girl, and you're not my kind of girl. Okay, so you and you and you knows like that kind of bitch. Like the oh, Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, become part of this Rant Pack family. I appreciate you so much for being here today. Sorry I said all that off the mic. If you want to drop a tip people in my jar, please. Oh, it would be really helpful right now. PayPal.me/MattyRants. Cash App.SimonRants. Venmo. I didn't see this. I don't have my watch on. I'm so sorry, baby. Felicia. Thanks for all you do with your channel. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you on my PayPal. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I did not see that. That was 20 minutes ago. Felicia. I'm sorry. I should have charged my watch before this. Let's talk about Ashley K and Dario. Okay. Let's talk about Beth and Jonna. Johnny, excuse me. Do we have to talk about Ashley K and Dario? Okay, there were a couple. It was a toxic relationship. They broke up. I swear to God, I have never thought of these people ever outside of this show program. Looked up their information, tried to figure out who they are. They were always people that just popped up on there. I was like, oh, he's on this season. And her, oh. And it's like, okay, you got the exes together. Okay. So this is about to be tension, and this is why we broke up, and all that kind of shit. Okay, bet. Dario's fine. Ashley's gorgeous. Okay, cool. We're good. Thanks. Now to Beth and John A, because that, y'all are sick for that. First of all, John A is a 2-time All-Stars Challenge winner. Y'all were tired of paying her money. You were. Listen, hold up. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Look, now, Janae had to explain something to her husband because of Beth's fucking mouth, but I get it because MJ is for like full on giving me Republicans out South bad. That man is fine. So I get it. Having to come back home and be like, I promise you. Because, like, I don't know how the brother look. I know he not. The Matthew, be real. I don't know how her husband looks. Yes, I do. So I understand. But I also want to get into the beginning of this and how, like, what the fuck is wrong with Beth? Because if y'all don't know who Beth is from this television show, Beth has been on since the early days of The Real World. Like, very, very, very early days. If we're looking at this cast of people who have been on the show of Real World and Road Rules and whatever the case may be, the people who, I guess, step out the most to me, Adam and Steve, because they were early days. Anissa, for sure. Anissa was early days as well, but she wasn't as early as Beth. Now, Beth was like beginning of time, Real World. Wasn't she Real World at Los Angeles? Is that right? She was Real World Los Angeles, huh? She's the one Tina punched, right? Yeah, Tina did punch her in the face. I love Tina. God, I wanted Tina. I wanted Tina on this show. Yes, she was on the one with Tammy Roman. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's right. Because that's I'm now remembering the reunion season and when we were talking about it. Because Beth was a weirdo on there too. Tammy, you can't say that. You Latin. I will never forget that. I said, girl, that cigarette wouldn't allow you to make the Tina. She couldn't get that out because she would have lost the cigarette. And it's the fact that she wanted to make sure that she heard her. Like, you can't say that because she would say you Latina, but the cigarette was right here, so she had to say you Latina. It's one of the funniest things on the planet because it's like, I know what you wanted to do, but she was like, I'm not losing a cigarette, so she know what I mean by Latina. I can't. Like, I can't. We haven't seen another one since then. Shout out to Melissa. I still have that interview from Melissa from the New Orleans one. There was a lot that happened during the New Orleans Real World reunion show that was not on air. That was wild. There was a lot that happened. And they've talked about it in some interviews already. They've come out with the tea and shit, but I still have that interview with Melissa. And I know she did spill like 2 things in there. I still have it on my computer, y'all. Still got it. I said I was going to release it to Patreon one of these days. And I still plan to, but I'm like, do I edit it down? Because I almost want y'all to listen just to us having a key the whole time. She's such a sweetheart. But like, yeah, Julie did a lot. a lot, to the point where production had to step in several times. Yeah. The whole husband thing coming over was very weird. We talked about that too. I'll never forget that conversation. I also thought it was very strange how they went outside and had sex outside on the patio. Like, huh? It's the way she painted her husband to be. And then they came out there and did this, but they're these super religious people, but they're not. I was so confused. We'll get there. We'll get there. I don't ever hope to see Julie again on my television screen. But yeah, Beth and Johnny. Beth made up a rumor that Johnny was sleeping with MJ, who was her partner on an All-Star season. And that legit would have fucked with Johnny's marriage that she takes seriously with kids. Do you understand me? And so Beth like literally tried to perpetuate that lie. And then she sort of like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And I've apologized. Oh, no. But it's already the idea of something being put into someone's head and now having to explain that the rest of your life to the other person. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always that back in your head moment he's going to have now, because he probably was never even thinking that in his head, that Johnny would do something like that. But then you're talking about a show where you got to go on TV for weeks at a time in a different country, and you're having a good time. You're seeing your wife out there playing, and I'm going to go, hello. It's messy. Oh, Kelly, it's messy. You need to get into it. It's messy boots. It's actually a good time, but I would definitely start with the early seasons before you get into this one, because this one, it'll explain the drama, but you'll kind of get a Cliff Notes version of it, and it won't feel as good as seeing it go down. So if you get to see the early seasons, when I tell you, it is definitely, I'm giving the challenge this, it is very binge watchable. You will get caught up, because that's what I did. I missed some of the seasons in between, like when I was in college and stuff, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was, out partying and shit. I got to go back and watch all of those on Paramount Plus. And I binged about 6 or 7 seasons of the challenge that I never saw but knew happened. And it was like watching it for the first time. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I end up realizing the seasons I saw later, I'm like, oh, that's where that drama came in. Oh, that's how that happened. It's a lot of lore. It's a lot of lore. So if it's one of those reality shows you want to get into, there's over 40 seasons. So you have a lot. And they're all connected through. There are people who've retired. There are people who have jumped in who are now part of the Veterans Guild. Oh, it's a lot. It's good. It's good. It's good. But there's also some really dark lore to it too that's kind of fucked up in those videos you can find on YouTube, where they break down all the bad things that happen. Yes, it is a live action total drama island. Actually, yeah, it's totally like they do have to go back in the bunks, or the little like rooms where everyone has a bunk bed and everyone's in their 30s and 40s. It's definitely a total drama island, but with like adult 40 plus. Yeah, because I'm including All Stars, because it's the Challenge 40, and then now we're on the Challenge All Stars 5 Rivals. So 40 plus. You gotta also include the Real World versus Road Rules. Then they also had the Challenge versus Champs versus Stars. Oh, that's right. There's a whole, oh my God, I forgot about the spinoff series. They had a challenge where it was Champs versus Stars. So they'd bring people who either won their season of the challenge or was close and was second or did very well. And they would go against people who were celebrities. Terrell Owens was on a season. Bow Wow, I think, was on a season. Oh, yes. Oh, do they fight? Do they fight? I pray to God they did not cut CT and Adam's fight from their season. Help me out here, y'all. What season was that where it was CT and Adam? They were both on Real World France, and they came into a challenge season, and it was like an early one. It was like Real World versus Road Rules, and CT was drunk, bitch, and Adam was talking shit, and they got, and I'm talking about got into it. CT was beating that boy up, beating him up. Oh, remember when Brad got a black eye from Darrell when he said that, because Brad's low-key racist, but like, oh. Yes, they do have challenges from Australia. They do like they have an American version, of course, but there is an Australian version. There is like in English. There's a lot of different versions of the challenge that they've been doing. And but I think more so Nerdigans is that they've also been incorporating shows that are like UK shows, like Geordie Shore, which I didn't know was an actual thing that's based off of Jersey Shore. And those people come to the challenge, which is weird because nobody from Jersey Shore is on the challenge. But Geordie Shore, they're on the challenge. Like it's a little weird. I fucking hate how heavy my neighbor walks upstairs, y'all. This lady walks like she's like a billion pounds. Like gravity is at a full-time high. I realized once I heard my maintenance man go up there, I was like, this man is walking and I barely hear him. So I'm like, she just flat-footed and she can't help that. But my God in heaven, I want them knees to rise and I want them to land in a just beautiful step. But when I tell you this morning in particular, this lady woke up and started vacuuming at 6:45 a.m. I was so upset. I lost it. I was in the bed. And I looked up at myself. I was like, for real? Like you're joking. No, no. She hates me. I know it. Because there's no way I would do that to somebody. Never. I don't care how much I don't like somebody. I'm like, that has got to be some vindictive ass shit. Anyway, moving on. I was like, wow. Wow. Okay. Beth and Johnny. Johnny does not want to work with Beth. I don't blame her. Beth is trying to like mend fences, even though that's literally her entire storyline every time she comes on the show is I did someone dirty and I gotta say I'm sorry. Okay, mom. So good luck to them. I don't think they're gonna win. I'm so sorry to John A. I know this is gonna be like a quick trip for you, but I would find it fucked up that y'all asked me to come here and I gotta be stressed out the entire time for entertainment. Thank you. Big T and Corey, okay, so the challenge season where there were really not any vets, if you will, it was sort of like the newcomer season. And a lot of people who have been sort of like never able to win or sitting out early, it was that kind of season, right? And so Big T kind of got fucked over by Corey because Corey was playing like a different game and he was like, I'm trying to make it to a final because he got sort of picked on low key because he was gay. And was always saying he was new and he was gay. It was easier to pick him. I was like, okay, we'll pick him. We'll pick him. This time he was trying to play a different game so he could make it far. And he was doing a lot of social game work this time around and also making promises he couldn't keep. He ended up having to put fuck over Big T, which that she takes personally because she plays the game personally. And then Melissa, who also plays the game personally too. I like Corey. I don't like some of the moves that he makes because it is giving very, I did it. Now what? It's like, oh, girl. But like Big T also, as much as I want to root for her, this is me watching her sometimes. I'm just excited to be here and, I'm going to show them my all and I'm really a big dog in this game. And I found I was a lesbian today and, oh, it's so wonderful. And this is too much from this mud and and I'm just like, oh my God, like, do you want to do this? Are you trying? Do you want to do this? Do you want to like, ugh. Like, so I don't know. I like Big T too as a personality. I enjoy listening to her talk. In these physical challenges, I'm like, we'll see how they do. I'm rooting for Corey and Big T. No, they were closest first episode, to be honest with you. They almost got to start. Devon and Shane. Oh, Devon, how much I love you as a human being and a person. God bless you, baby. Kissy, kissy. I still wish you could have slapped the taste out of that asshole that brought up your child. Okay. During Big Brother, Paul, what is his? Is it Paulie? I forget his name. He is with Cara Marie now, but or is he with Cara Marie? I can't remember, but I cannot stand that guy. I hated that moment on television so much. Like, literally gaslit her, and then they try to make her out to be this violent Black woman. I could not do it. I couldn't do it. It was one of those moments when I really just hated Big Brother, because it was the way that was done. And it's like that person was completely dirty. Like, Davon had every right to talk to you the way that they did. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, he got away with a lot that day, because he should have got way more than that. Shane is messy. Shane been messy. Okay, Shane been playing a messy game. Mess. Okay, and Davon and Shane have gotten into it many of times. When it comes to the challenge, there was like the one back and forth, like, I'll show you a bitch, like all that kind of stuff. So to me, they're now having to work together as a team. Please put your powers together. One, a Black woman, the other who probably feels there's one inside of him, or probably at one point in time in his life, he said that, and Maine doesn't feel that way now. Probably doesn't feel that way now. I'm praying he doesn't feel that way now. Please, you two have to work together, because I have money on you this season. I put 5 on it. I did. Davon and Shane, don't mess it up for me, girl. I got you making it past 5 episodes. I'm gonna get my money back. Please. I said they got 5 on them. I know they got 5. I said maybe the finals. Please don't let these people try to flip that into a hundo. Come on, sister. I gotta run. I gotta pay. Also, I got a cameo request today. Shout out to that cameo request. I will be getting to it soon. It's a deep one though, so give me a second to pull my words together for you, babes. Okay. I noticed that there is Melissa and the one, what is that? I don't, is it Sarah? The one, oh my God, the lesbian whore that's on the show. I know I'm really mad I said it like that, but that's kind of the best way to describe her, the firefighter. The real, you know who I'm talking about. It's her and Melissa are teamed up. I don't care for Melissa at all. I don't find her to be interesting. I think she's just pretty and messy. And that's how it works. Give me just a second. I just want to stare up and see how this bitch is so loud. Anywho, hold on, let me pull this up. I had this together. There we go. Nicole. Why was I saying Sarah? Hold on. Challenge stats. Can y'all hear it in the background? Just let me know, because it's more than likely her daughter, who is a very angry individual, that's having to walk this hard. But if y'all can't hear it, I won't bring it up no more. I can just hear it because my headphones are pick up everything right now. Okay, here we go. Bam. I'm sorry, I didn't have these other pictures. Melissa and Nicole. I don't have on here. Actually, can I send this picture to myself? I think I can. Here we go. Thank you, Challenge Stats, for this photo. Done. Hold on a second. I don't take nothing back I said, because they rude. Here we go. Can you focus? Shit. The camera's like, I'm not focusing. No. Nope, the camera doesn't want to focus. Well, damn. I'll just send it to my computer, see if it works. God, why is she back on the show? There is no reason for that person to be back on the show. I swear to God. Okay, let's talk about the people on this cover right now. I'm rooting for Devon and Shane. That's my team right now. Devin and Leroy. I'm going to vote for Leroy. He's a Houstonian. Him and Cam live out here. Shout out to Leroy and Cam. I'm big fans of theirs from this show, even though Leroy has made some of the dumbest decisions ever and basically been a bitch boy for Johnny Bananas and company, which that's his fault. But he's been trying to do his own thing, and it's sort of like, well, you've been kind of at the side, you've been at their side for quite some time. They're not going to let you eat off the same table as them, and it feels that way. Even though there were times I'm like, they're trying to pull him through, but but him and Devin, there's been, they've fucked each other over here. They were in Houston the last time I was pulling their information up. Okay, well, thank you for correcting me, Virgo. I was wrong there. Let me not bring up any more facts that I thought I knew. Back to this, though. Devin and Leroy have their own beef. Maybe there's something I'm missing from that, too. Anyone can help me out with? I think I got it right. Maybe, possibly, hopefully, maybe. I hope so. Yeah, Leroy was supposed to have Devin's back and fucked him over, and Devin, did the same. Blah, blah, blah. It's just a little bit back and forth from that. We'll see what happens there. I'm going to continue moving on. Frank and Sam. Frank and Beans is what I would call this team. I don't give a fuck about them, to be honest with you. I didn't care about them when they were on their own show. I didn't care about them when they were on this show and they had to work together and they didn't like each other. I didn't really care. Don't care. Sam looks crazy. And Frank looks like they're very happy. So I don't know if this is going to pull them back into the atmosphere of all that toxicity they had to deal with this show again. But like, I really didn't care. I'm not even lying to you. I was like, okay, all right, this is a choice. Okay. I was more excited for Frank. I don't know about Sam. I was like, bring Rachel back. Never mind. Rachel won recently, but oh, I love Rachel. I'm sorry. I just Sam this episode in particular too, I was kind of like, I don't think you're gonna give what you used to, and I don't know if y'all addressed it yet, but hopes and prayers, hopes and prayers, hopes and prayers. Mm-hmm. We're pretending I had this up. Katie and Veronica, smoker's choice is what I would call this group. Oh, Veronica, I've been there from the beginning, baby. Whoa, that's Road Rules, by the way. Veronica, I think, was Katie on Road Rules too? I think, yeah, they both were on Road Rules, which again, nobody talks about anymore. And why haven't they brought that show back with all of these streamers out here doing their content and like running into stores doing foolishness and all that kind of shit? I would think MTV would have the budget to do another Road Rules show. If there's a challenge that we're watching as people, how do you know that we can't get the views for another Road Rules? Better yet, another Real World, right? Because I'm sorry, ridiculousness does not deserve that many time slots on your program. Does Rob own the network now and we don't know about this? Does he have stock in MTV? What is going on here? Because this episode was an hour long and that was way under what it needed to be. We needed another 30 minutes at least. We could have someone go home today. I like Katie though. Katie's also grown now. So is Veronica. Veronica used to be about that bullshit and petty or whatever, and Katie used to pop off. And they had an epic fight during one of the challenges. I should say the Real World versus Road Rule days. I mean, they had an epic fight. Like they said some woo, they were going in. So them being rivals makes perfect sense. But initially at the beginning of this episode, Katie was there by herself. So I was like, what? Felt like Veronica maybe missed the flight, or they were trying to find someone who was going to be with Katie. I feel like was Katie paired with someone else, and then Veronica came in as a substitute because there was beef there. Like, what was that about, right? Anyways, I like Katie and Veronica, so I just know them from the olden days, and I kind of root for the people that I grew up with, if you will. The folks that are in my age group are a little bit older than me because I grew up with them. I like Kellyanne. Kellyanne and Sylvia. Well, hopefully it ends up on the right side of history, right? I just don't like Sylvia. I never have cared for her character, personality, or anything. Nope. And I like Kellyanne. I don't know why. Kellyanne's always been the underdog for me. Everything that she goes in there and like she wants to blow up anybody who's been winning the challenge too many times game. And if you've messed her over, oh, it's up. It's up. Like everything. Mama is great TV when it comes to drama sometimes. So I just don't care for Sylvia. She's not interesting or entertaining to me. She complains too much. Blah. Melissa and Nicole. Not a couple is what I'd call this group. Not a couple. Nicole is kind of happy because Melissa's hot. Did y'all clock that? Like something about that felt so gross. I was like, are they actually rivals? Because I remember when they got in their tips and stuff, and she was beefing with the ex Laurel, and or I guess she hung out with Nicole's ex, who is Laurel. Who we don't need to go down that. We don't need to go there. That's a long story. If you want to get into the challenge, I suggest you do, and you watch the Laurel of it all. Okay, you watch all the Laurel. You watch all of it, girl. Go for it. But like Melissa hooked up with Laurel and they were sort of like rubbing it in Nicole's face. But like Nicole is like one of the strongest BDs I've ever seen. Like this butch over here, lesbian. That what you mean? For her, that's some that's the I can take that to the bedroom and get a little gas up in here. Like, flick the bean. You hear me? Like, what you talking about? That's hot shit for her. That's why when she saw her, I was like, what is this rivalry? What? She's happy she got someone in her type range. Like, what you mean? I don't like Melissa either. I'm gonna be real with you. Melissa involves herself in a lot of people's business, in my personal opinion, and her and Big T's friendship is weird. It's not my favorite thing. It's odd. Nani and Turbo. Oh, Nani. Oh, Nani. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. You know, the story of Nani, there were many times I've wanted her to win and she gets so close and then just taken away. So many times. And there are times where I'm like, well, she don't need this victory low key because she just rode the wave to get there. And then, yeah, there are a few times I felt that happened with her. No shade. No shade. But like the Turbo situation with Nani and Turbo, that's such a weird rivalry because he held this huge grudge against this woman, which I'm not surprised he would do something like that. That totally reads for his character. But like she put his name in for an elimination and it was like, oh, you didn't even like give me the heads up and we worked together on a previous season. So fuck you, bitch. But it's like Nani tried to talk to you and you said that you didn't want to talk to her. Huh? Like they're trying to negotiate ways to vote people in and who they can put in. And when she wanted to talk to you about it to get your heads up to be like, hey, this is what may happen or what do you want to do? You didn't let her have that. So she went with her own way of getting it done. You know what I'm saying? But so to me, yes, she was still with Casey because her whole intro is her and Casey are together. They're getting a house. They want to have kids. And then Nerdigans, they just broke up the other day. Gag. Yeah. Gag. Mind you, the show's been filming. It's been done filming. So if they broke up just recently, you can't say it's like, oh, it happened during film. No. That was when they got home. That's when she got home. I don't know what happened. That's sad to hear. That's sad to hear. Good luck to Casey and Nani. But that is sad to hear. I wonder what happened. No, I don't. That's not my business. It's not a lick, not a tick or a talk of my business. None of it. You handle your lesbian business in your own woods, in your own backyard. Y'all go do your thing. Do your thing. Ain't none of my business. Good luck to them both. Listen, the first episode was just an introduction of all of these people and bringing them in the house and going, "Whoo, Lord, I don't like him because of this." And oh my, I don't like her because of that. And oh, this bitch. And oh, that. It just gives you background to each of their beefs and what their issues are. Slight introductions, very little gameplay being talked because it's more so about, well, if it's rivals, we can steal $300,000. It's not even as much as the normal prize pot. It's like $300,000. You either split it with your partner, which is $150K a piece, or it's $300K if you want to keep it. And people are already talking about taking the money on day one. Okay, good luck. If I find out my partner is already thinking about taking that money, our trip is going to be cut short. Who is throwing challenges? Me. Who is not going to be fighting in the eliminations? Me. Fuck you. You didn't get no money, boy. Please, we're out of here together. I'll see you for a regular season, and then take it away from you again while I go get the money myself. Stupid. They had to crawl through some mud and do these sort of obstacles through this challenge where they needed to work together. It was a very much a teamwork and a team building challenge this week. But the problem I had with this episode is that they only showed us who got stars. We didn't get any eliminations. We didn't get any talks of who is in what position and where. And it felt very short and underwhelming because I am used to watching the challenge and it being a full story. Here they are. We've introduced ourselves. There's history here. We do our challenge. Oh no, we've got people who are already showing to be threats. We've got people who are in trouble. Who's in trouble? We've already started the drama here. Then we get to the actual like eliminations. And now the game begins. I hate that. This episode was actually 40 something minutes long. It only included their intros, the first challenge itself, and who got stars. Who got stars? Well, Nani and Turbo came in fourth, but they did get stars. Well, a star. I shouldn't say stars. They're sharing one Matthew. Nani and Turbo got a star in fourth place. Adam and Steve were in first place. Then we have Ashley K and Dario, and Devin and Leroy got a star. So we've got Frank and Sam, Devon and Shane, Big T and Corey. Big T and Corey were actually right there. They could have got a star, but they were close. Beth and Janae, Anissa and Ashley, Amber and Fessy, and of course Kellyanne and Sylvia. We're moving ahead here. Kellyanne and Matt, Kellyanne and Sylvia, and Melissa, Nicole, Katie, and Veronica do not have a star. So I guess we'll find out in the next episode what goes on. But I don't like how that is, how they did this. And it was so hyper focused on just intros and not like giving us a full story. And of course, the foretelling of we're about to get in fights about old shit. Like they did a whole commercial at the end of it, like for telling the fights. Like, I hope we can get through our problems. Fuck you, dude. We just need to work together. I can't stand you, dude. I was like, oh God, here we go. So I don't know if this is going to be a heavily produced season, very heavy handed on. Give us challenge, but drama. Give us challenge, but drama. I don't know, but I'm kind of tuned in. I'll be locked in. So each and every Thursday, I'll be doing a rant report, and I actually will, starting the following Thursday, be doing much more detailed takes on this. As with the rant report, try to keep it within an hour or two of a conversation, but that's what we'll do. So if you want to hear more stuff about the challenge, make sure you tune in on Thursdays here. The rant report, challenge, rivals, all stars. I'll be covering it every Thursday and giving my little recaps. But yeah, those are the people with stars right now. Everybody else is sort of in danger that we know so far, I guess. And it looks like it's going to be a season of a lot of drama. But if you've never seen the challenge, if you've never seen a Real World versus Road Rules, oh, I highly suggest you do. If you like reality competition shows and you like drama and you like romance and you like all of that and then some, it has it all on this show. That's a promise. Hot guys, hot girls, ugly girls, hot they, thems, hot. Well, yes. I will say our trans sister that was on the show, Caitlin, I think her name was. I forget her name. Oh, they did her so dirty. But then she got really messy. You know, that one episode, she said way too much at that table. I was like, girl, what are you doing? They already are targeting you. They were trying to play the everybody like, look, she's cool, right? And then she like said too much. I was like, oh no. Like, okay, it's over. But yes, there's a lot to offer with the show. So I would highly suggest it. But it is a very messy reality TV show program. Now, to one of my last and final thoughts of the day, I finally saw Blink twice, and I want to give my thoughts on this. I finally saw this, and I need to speak about it because, okay. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe to cover this Rant Pack family. I appreciate you all so much for being here today. As a reminder, if you're on my Patreon, I will be doing the Traders reaction tomorrow in the morning. It's easier to film, a lot less loud, and I will be less drained, if you will. First thing in the morning after my workout, I'm always ready to watch TV. So listen, y'all have been telling me to go see this movie. You've been like, Matt, you got to go see it. Oh, it's great. I got to hear your thoughts. I wanted to go see it in theaters. It left theaters before I could go see it. And then when it came out on streaming, it was only to pay for it. Like you had to pay like a good $20 just to rent the movie. I was like, the fuck is this? I said, oh, wait. It finally is available on Amazon Prime. It's available on Prime if you're a Prime member. Should you see this movie? Okay. And I love Zoe Kravitz. I always support the Kravitz dynasty because I'm a big fan. I didn't know that Lenny Kravitz was raised by Seventh-day Adventists at this honest. I was like, what? But like, hates Michael. It's kind of, it's like, yes, they're a caterer and then they meet this man and then it goes on from there. But this is not the menu where it was like they showed up to the restaurant and we're doing whatever. Okay, let me give a brief run through. This woman who is sort of like stuck in a place of like feeling invisible and not getting to be who they really want to be, has this sort of like job as a caterer for this company, and of course she's just doing the daily run-throughs, this, that, and the other. She ends up like embarrassing herself at this party, but she meets the guy who she was just looking at on her phone not too long ago, who apparently was being canceled but came out and apologized, and everybody was sort of like, he was rebuilding his image. And she's at this art function gallery situation. So instead of him being like, oh my God, who is she? She's a nobody and she embarrassed herself. He basically like starts wooing her and involves her into everything that he's doing and introduces her to all these socialites with her friend. Now, as they're meeting these people and drinking champagne at the same place that they were like working at and trying to be caterers and servers for these folks, are now dining and partying with these rich people. They're then asked literally the same day, within less than 24 hours of time, maybe not even 8, 6, 7, 4 hours of time. Hey, do you want to hop on a plane with us and just spend a couple of days with us out on an island, chilling, having fun and partying? Two women who are supposed to be in their, like, I'm assuming late 20s, early 30s, random celebrity who is known for allegedly doing some really fucked up things and then getting like canceled for it, but then coming back on an apology tour, the full bit. Like you already know there was some shicey stuff going on. And I know it's Channing Tatum. Like, look at the guy. Like, I get it. I see it. Listen, I like pain too, but like there is nothing on this earth. There is nothing, and there is not any sort of fineness that would get me to get on a plane and go somewhere completely random. They didn't even change clothes, y'all. They didn't even get to go home to get a suitcase. Do you understand me? It was right then and there. Hop on the plane and go with us. We will provide you with everything when we get there. Xavier, I hear you. And then I had to think about a few people in my life where I'm like, no. Nothing's worth that, right? I'm like, the bottom in me. But no, I'm watching this and I'm going, okay, as much as this is like too good to be true stuff, I do know people who are this like, okay, whatever, right? I just didn't understand the whole we literally didn't even think about it, like just go. And so they get to this island, they see this tacky house, they're on an island somewhere, like it's giving like very South America tease, and it's definitely not done. The guy bought the property, but he didn't change everything. He's like painting it, but he hasn't figured it out. It's very much, I just bought this new property. It's part of my healing. He says he's in therapy. He's trying to fix himself, right? That's this whole thing about forgiveness. This whole thing. Oh, it's so wild, y'all. So they get there, they get in their room, they're taken to separate rooms. All the women have to be in separate rooms, and they meet other women who are also just there. And none of the women were talking to each other about just coming just there. That didn't make any sense to me, but it was very, oh my God, look at what these guys are doing for this. Because all the women that were there had met these men that knew Channing Tatum that were going back to this island. Okay. And they're just smoking and they're drinking, and it's just nothing but alcohol and nothing but drugs. It's just flowing. And everything is, are you good? Are you having a great time? Are you having fun? And they're whining, they're dining them, and they're doing everything. And they would do it every single day. But then they were noticing things about them that was strange. It's like, well, why how come I have a bruise here? And why is this like that? And why is there dirt under my nails? And why is this happening? So they were losing track of what happened in the evening times. And then like completely just being blasé and living the life and having so much fun and being the dreamy romantic like island vacation world that it was during the day, until one of the friends gets bit by a snake. And they were still like, oh, it's no big deal. And it's like, what? This girl just got bit by a poisonous snake. What you talking about? Like, what do you mean? She'll be all right. It's going to be okay. The friend goes missing. And that's when it starts. I kid you not. Once that friend goes missing, that's when the movie picked up for me. And I was like, okay, here we go. I don't know if I want to give away everything, because I actually was gagged at one of the revelations that happened later, and I was like, what? That's crazy. But I already knew something was going on. So it is very Weinstein Island sort of situation. It is very that kind of stuff. The island, very that. It's very that, unfortunately. To just give the trigger warning in place here, the women were being brought there. They were being mind controlled through this perfume. Okay. And it caused them to like believe, or like, they would be lost in whatever the days were. And then at night, the men graphically. And it wasn't just them. They were inviting people to the island that the women didn't even know would be there, and sharing said women with other men that were there. And they were doing in the worst ways, because their idea, and this is the gag, and I thought this was so fucked up about it all. The perfume that was infused with this, whatever it was that caused the confusion and the loss of memory, is based off of trauma. The more trauma they face, yes, the harder it is for them to remember. So they have to do whatever they're going to do at night in the worst way possible in order for them to have no recollection of their memory the following day. Because the girl got bit with the snake, they had to get rid of her, because the snake venom is the antidote. And you'll see in the movie, they keep showing this one maid or landscaper, excuse me, getting these snakes off the ground, like she's there to get them. And she's like, how do I describe this? Because I don't want to tell you the ending, because the ending's wild. The ending was wild. I wasn't satisfied with the ending though, because to me it left so many questions and it only answered one. And that one answer was not sufficient for me as far as the things that were happening to the women on the island. It was not, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. I'm not satisfied with this resolution. Like, after we find this out and then it's been going on forever, you're telling me what? And then, like, okay, yeah, because again, I'm not going to tell you one of the twists, but one of the twists didn't make any sense, because it's like, apparently one of them had already been there before, and it's like, huh? And then when they do the flashback for that, it's like, huh? So how did she get away? And then we get back and what? It was beautifully shot. It is beautifully shot. It is bodies with trauma and SA and RA and all of that. And the ending is just not, it didn't give me what I needed. I was a little pissed off, if you will. It is like DW. I will say there are parts of that movie I thoroughly enjoyed, because there were scenes where I was like, yes, get that motherfucker. Or yes, this, that, and the other. And then, like when people start to realize what's going on. They even played Beyonce's I'm That Girl in the movie. And I got up. I got the fuck up. Especially, it was at the right time. Now, Zoe, that was one of the best choices you've made during that movie. The way that edit happened and the whole beginning to I'm That Girl starts playing. And it was the perfect scene. It was the perfect scene for it too. It was all you heard was dead ass. I'm dead ass. I started screaming when I heard. I was like, okay. And it was the perfect scene for that song too. It was the perfect, the way that frame was shot, the way the moon was hitting them. Oh, it was perfect. I just didn't like the third act. I would say the first two acts were incredible. It looked like it was going somewhere. There are parts of the third act that are just going to make you go, what the fuck is going on? But the last part, I was like, it? That's all we get? Just him? What about the other people? What about this and that? Like, you'll see it. And also, Channing Tatum, I know you thought you were going to get an Oscar for the I'm sorry monologue, but baby, I chuckled down. There's one scene where Channing Tatum's trying to be very, very serious. Very, very actor thespian. And it fails miserably. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, get ready. And I'm talking about, it goes on for a while. Like, it's not like a 30-second scene of him saying it. It's at least 90 seconds to maybe 2 minutes of him saying, I'm sorry, straight. Not 30 seconds, not 10, not 15. A good, nasty minute, 90 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes of that man literally saying the same thing Elmer, and he's like really trying to show his breaking, but it was so bad. I was like, bro, you're not good at this. You need to get back to dancing. So yes, should you see this movie? If you cannot deal with any trauma in relations to SA, you can skip the fuck out of this film, because you're going to be triggered. They do give you a warning. It's not enough. That as somebody who has dealt with that before, who has literally had someone drop something into my drink and take it. Yes, like I that the trigger warning. Thank you, but I was like, I literally sat there in like complete frozen state of shock while I was watching it. I just sat there and held my breath, like that whole scene. Oh, I was gone. I was gone. And there's several scenes of it too. Like honey, there's not just like one big moment where it's like an ORG, finish the rest of it. Oh, no. When they start getting their memory, when they start getting their memory back, there are some images I'm still thinking about that bother me, and I've been trying to cleanse myself of the visual of it, because I don't like that kind of shit. Mm-mm. Yeah, but they're. Oh, Haley Joel Osment's in the movie. Would you like to see a misshapen fruit sit there and do something to somebody? Because yes, that happens. I never thought in my life the boy that said, "I see dead people" would be a part of something like this and be the person that he is. Shock to see him in the role he was in. I was in shock. And I know they're acting, so I'm like not trying to take it seriously, but sometimes you can't disassociate. So I was like, oh my God, what am I watching? What am I watching? And then I realized that one of the guys that was on there was also like the girl too. They don't really like Zoe. I gotta talk to you about that. That pissed me off a little bit. You had boy bussy up in there. I said with the B word, bus. Thank you, YouTube. That's that word you don't have on the list yet. But I didn't know one of the guys. There's so much about it you need to like pick up on. Where it's like, oh my god, it's filmed very well. She knows her eye with color, and she knows how to frame a shot. This is what me and Bleeker were talking about. She knows how to frame a shot. Zoe can frame a damn shot. The script was lacking. The idea and premise, great. Final execution, I'd say the first 2 acts were incredible. No, that's a lie. First 2 acts were good. It's going to pull you in. You want to know more what's going on. You want to figure out what's happening. And then when you get to the finale, and again, I kind of gave you a little bit of what it is. Nothing compared to you seeing it. What goes on in that 3rd act? Oh, wow. I was in shock for half of the things that went down. I was like, what is, wait, oh my God, I kept doing this. That 3rd act was pulling me through it. It was taking me through hell, bitch. But the final last 5, I was like, no, it shouldn't have ended that way. Like if they ended it maybe prior to the cut that goes to the last scene, yes, I'd have been more pleased with it versus how it gave that sort of resolution answer. I didn't like the resolution answer. I'm like, nah, you should have just left it right there. But it's an hour and 45 minutes. So if you have that much time to spare, it's not a long movie. So there you go. I have not seen Nosferatu. It's on my list. Hi, Mike. I have that movie. It's Nosferatu, Presence, and the Kiki Palmer movie are on my list of films. Once I pay my rent and everything, I'm more than likely going to go to the movies because it'll be my reward to myself. But I go on a Tuesday because Tuesdays it's $5 movie days out here, so that's like $15 on 3 films. I'm trying to see them before they all go, but I heard it was beautifully done. I also heard it is not for everybody in terms of horror movies. I do like a little long-winded atmospheric levels of scary. I think I might enjoy it. I heard about it, and it's sort of my jam as far as like movies are done and concerned. Visually speaking, it's all up my alley, so I'm totally gonna go see it. I want to see the Kiki Palmer movie because I was told it was actually very, very fucking funny. And the Presence movie, it's A24. I have to support because they haven't been missing the ball lately. But I'm seeing that one, and another movie I want to go see is called The Monkey. It comes out in February. It's like a horror movie, and it's based off of a short, and it's like the monkey like causes things to happen or whatever. And I gotta go see it because I was wrong about another movie that I thought didn't look good, but then it looked really good. Abigail. I was like, this movie's gonna suck. I loved it. So I was like, okay, can't do this again. I gotta go see these movies. But those are on my list right now. I don't know if there's anything else I saw recently that I was like, oh, it's a must. I have to go see it. Oh, the Spider-Man show that's on Disney Plus. I'm gonna wait. I'm not a fan of the art style, I'm gonna be honest with you. As very retro comic book art pop style it gives, that's great. Super. Something about it's just not. I'm like, and I'm also sick of Spider-Man, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they've really overused him as a Marvel character to the point to where he's the mascot now. And I'm like, I would have never put Spider-Man as Marvel's ultimate mascot, but pop off queen. Yeah, Severance 2. Okay, so you know when I normally get my Apple TV, I get an Apple TV like free week. Let me tell you, anytime I buy a movie ticket, So I was waiting for the next time, Michael, for me to buy a movie ticket because AMC always is good for it on their app. If you buy tickets with them, they give you free shit. Please, y'all, I'm giving y'all the hookup. If you buy your tickets on the apps for these like Fandangos and stuff like that, they always have something that pops up afterwards to go, thank you for your purchase. By the way, you can take advantage of. Bitch, you need to pay attention to those. I still have my Sam's Club, or what is it, Costco card. I have my Costco card. I'm paying $20 for the year. For the year. So yeah, like and when it renewed, I just redid it under the coupon I got for buying a ticket, and they let me do it. So I was like, work girl. Work girl. So yeah, I would highly suggest, like, when y'all buy stuff online, pay attention to that shit. Don't just scroll off. Like, the XM Sirius Radio, totally understand the skipping part. No shade to XM Sirius Radio. I just don't be in the car like that. Unless I was a truck driver, then I would want something like that, right? Check out they always have something like Sam's Club or Costco, or like a subscription for very, very cheap. Oh, bitch. My friend got Hulu for like 6 months for free one time by buying a movie ticket. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, I paid for it now, but baby, that 6 months was wonderful. It's like I caught up on everything. Oh, okay. Listen, okay. I don't think I have anything else to talk about today. A lot of stuff that's hot topic worthy, like the woman who is suing the Lyft driver because they wouldn't let her get in the car and saying it was discrimination. I almost don't have any commentary on that, because to me, it's like, okay, it's a lot of what ifs. Does that make sense? It's a lot of what ifs. A lot of what ifs, if you will. It's like, well, she didn't get in the car, so we don't know if the car would have broke or would have messed up the suspension. Okay, so we can't say like that, but then he has, as a driver, can deny the service if he feels like something's going to be an issue, and that's his priority to do. I know that, as you know, I used to date somebody who did that all the time. I'm trying to get into driving, if you will, as soon as I get my car, so I can get me some extra money. It's more of the commentary that has nothing to do with the scenario that, for me, I'm like, y'all just doing too much, and you're making about this girl size. Now, yes, that lady is big. That lady is big, but I'm also thinking, like, there are cars that would be able to handle all of that and not be an issue. I don't think her getting in the vehicle I don't think it would have messed up that bad. I think, yes, it would have sat lower and it could have been an issue going over humps or whatever, but I don't think it was that deep. And I don't know, like, it's the same conversation about, people saying, if you're buying a plane seat and you can't fit in it, you need to buy two. But then it's like, is that discrimination? And I don't know. I'm on my health journey right now, so I'm not trying to make no sort of like commentary on anybody's shape and body, but like, because I have my own body dysmorphia to deal with. Why is she suing the driver? That's my problem with that one. Like, and I guess, like, I mean, sue Lyft too, but I don't see her for having a case. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can say to that. I don't see her for having a case. I think it's silly that you're suing. To be honest with you, I would have taken it as, this is an issue for me as a writer. And then Lyft gives you something like $1,000 credit so you can buy the XL Ubers or Lyfts that you need. So this will never be an issue again. I don't know. I don't know. I hate that story for her. And now I saw someone actually put a side by side of her and Lizzo and do the where they are related and where it's different. And I'm like, what? Like, well, the difference is Lizzo's trying to get health. Girl, now I know I like to bring up my workout regimen and do all that good jazz and the rest of the stuff with the Lord Jesus and all the rest and all of that. At the same time, I am are we comparing the two? What is that? What does Lizzo have to do with this conversation? What is going on here? They're like, well, they're both black female rappers who are big. What? That don't got. Stop it. Like get away. Get away from the internet. People are strange. I think I don't know about the lawsuit. I think the discrimination is wrong. I don't know if this is necessary discrimination thing, to be honest. I don't know if the person just knew that their vehicle wasn't up to date on certain stuff, and he felt that if she got in the car, a situation was going to happen where the company is not going to pay for his damages, and neither is she. And so he was trying to protect his only source of income, is how I'm looking at it in this situation. To where for her, it is fucked up that that took place. I would be issuing my grievance with the company, and the company needs to reimburse me back something because I was literally turned away for that happening, and then move on with my life. But it's being taken into a bigger space, and I just think it shouldn't have gone this far. I'm sorry. I've had people not pick me up because I was in drag for that first show that we did. I was with Nidra. I've had 2 people cancel the ride. Drove by. We were getting a cab to go to the event, and the man was looking at us like we was crazy. Like, come on now. Like, people they do that stuff. So to me, it's a lot of the drive. Remember, I told you about the one dude that picked me up to take me to Target and then issued his grievances about Black people with me because he thought I was biracial and more leaning on the white side, and wanted to issue those grievances with me, or just white in general. And I had to tell him I was a Black guy when I walked up. I was like, I am actually all Black, and you just had this full conversation about these Black people and what they why do you need Martin Luther King Day and why you need Black History Month. I'm now realizing that conversation that I had in that car has now actually taken place. It's actually happening. That same man that apologized because he didn't know who I was and now was worried about his rating has gotten his way. I thought about that today. It made me so sad. It made me so sad. I was like, wow. We don't need any holiday for that matter if that's what we're going to do. If I'm going to be honest with you, why do we need any holidays? If you're going to do that, what's the point of Christmas? Since you can't celebrate because you feel like it's African American History Month, why do we need Christmas? That doesn't include everybody. Labor Day, that don't include everybody. That don't include everybody. Just saying. Since we don't want to give observances, it's a lot, but I said I was going to get into it. I hate turning on my TV. I hate getting on Twitter. I hate the news right now. The Daily Show isn't even good anymore. I can't even watch The Daily Show. Oh, how they have fallen, how they have bent the knee. I am unable. So my television experience isn't as fun as it used to be, like it was anymore. And it's like every day something really horrible happens and we're just watching it burn. For example, to those that are no longer with us, a part of that plane crash that just happened the other day, I send my prayers to the family and their loved ones. It's horrible news. Do you know this person blamed DEI hiring? Can you like got up there with that awful tan and said that shit. And then when they brought up things that were about under his administration, he blamed Obama with the quick. I'm over here. I'm like, This is not a reality. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. Nothing is his fault. I can't. And no one was saying it was his fault, but all he had to say was, hey, in this situation, because he actually put a freeze on all that stuff that actually applies to this situation. He kind of facilitated a lot of that crap. You said, we're going to shut this down. We're going to stop this. We're not going to pay for that. We're going to do it. Like, you literally went in there and I got friends whose medication is on the line right now. I got folks. It's a lot. It's really sad. So yeah, it hasn't been a fun ride for me. So I'm just saying, y'all, the next couple of days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's traders, it's drag race, it's the panel. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's have a good time. Let's try our best here, because we got a long road ahead of us, and it's not going to get better. It is unfortunately going to get so much worse, and they have promised that, and they are celebrating, and they are happy at how much pain and suffering they're about to cause. Get ready, please. Like, just, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure we have a good time over here, and we're not just doom talking, but like I pay attention, I read, I focus on the right things. I look at what makes sense as human beings and not for like just self-servicing purposes. We're in trouble. So be vigilant, ears open, eyes open. We're here to have fun, but just remind yourselves when you walk out my door, and like you said, you come in my door when we're doing these videos, right? And we're having a good time. When you walk out, be safe. I need to see y'all again. I'm getting nervous for folks out here, the threats I've received. Be safe. Be safe. Because now that it's happened, as you've seen in videos, people have gotten that power to do what they want to do again, and it's scary. I just saw a video of this Black woman having a gun being held to her head, and not a single person did anything but fucking film the situation over road rage. And yes, the man was another color, and he literally had that gun in her head. And all these men were doing work. Hey, get in your car, girl. Get in your car. Call the police. Why are we letting this go? Why are we letting this be a moment of, well, no. That's scary. Be safe, please. I got to see y'all again. Oh, my empathy factor is at a high. My empathy bone is literally breaking down in the soup as we speak. It is the marrow broth of it all. Okay. I am having the emotional warfare of my life, not trying to focus on what's going on in the world right now, because a lot does affect me and a lot affects people I love, and it is a lot to take in. So just be careful. Okay. So listen. Well, yes, they're having to walk that thing back, DW. They're walking that back because it's like, well, at first they were going to take it out, but now they're like, we've changed our minds. I'm like, are you doing it just to make people be like, oh my God, and then going, see, we're giving it to you, so it's us that gave it to you now. It's weird. I don't like it. It's very manipulative. So it's a lot today. But anywho, off of all that, please, if you haven't seen the challenge Rivals 5 All-Stars, you should totally see it. It's interesting, but I more suggest for you to get into the actual challenge seasons on Paramount Plus and Pluto, like we talked about, because the lore of the show, getting up even into Rivals, bitch, there's a lot of tea. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of revenge, if you will, a lot of revenge stories in the challenge universe, a lot of karma. Yes, a lot of karma, a lot of revenge, a lot of fuckery. So I would highly suggest getting into it. Lady Gaga has an album coming out in March, Mayhem, Miller. And we talked about the tracks that are coming out, what we hope it sounds like. We have Die With a Smile and Disease as the first two singles so far. Abracadabra is allegedly going to be the next one. Interesting to see what happens. Oh, and love stories, D'Anthony. That's right. And love stories and the challenges. Because, DM and CT, that was like love, toxic, love, toxic, love, love. And then what happened to DM was so sad. DM passed away from cancer. Oh, that was so sad. That was so sad. That was sad, baby. That was sad. God, there's a lot of challenge lore you need to get into. There's a lot that happened. So, oh man, now I'm thinking about it. Oh no, I remember that episode that was so sad. Oh, because like she had just because she was going through cancer and then beat cancer, and then she was back on the challenge, but she had to have a wig because she had to go through all that chemo, and it was like we were watching like DM like fight through after being so weak for so. Oh, it was a lot to take in. It was a lot to take in. So, Gaga challenge. Blink Twice is now on Amazon Prime. If you wanted to watch it, you can. There are a lot of new movies that are coming out very soon, as well as in theaters and to streaming apps. So I'm excited. But yes, tomorrow I will see you for The Traitors. The Traitors. Season 3, we'll see if Danielle continues fucking up and if Carolyn finally clicks out and if Boston Rob gets more leverage to continue to win. We'll see tomorrow, or we'll see tonight, I should say. And then Friday, you got me for Drag Race Season 17 for the reaction. But of course, on Saturday for the review. Like I said, review for Traitors tomorrow, Saturday Drag Race, and Sunday panel. Doo-doo-doo. Is anyone watching Drag House Rules? I won't be because I'm not paying for another subscription. I'm a little bit over it and I'm a bit tired of paying for subscriptions. I'm paying for subscriptions that panel members who aren't even on the panel right now are using. Do you understand me? I ain't paying for that. The last time I paid for my Out TV membership was because I wanted to see the most recent season of Can't Wanna Kiki and support the Wankiki sisters. I wanted to do my Apple Cherry and all that kind of good stuff. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it there. And then I removed it. I saw the DILF show and I was like, nope, not for me. It's not for me. This is a little too much. I was like, woof, this is a lot to take in. I couldn't take it. The Go-Go Boy one, I was like, oh no. And I had to let it go. So no shade to them, but there are things on there. I'm like, what in the fuck is this? What is going on here? What is this? Daddy and the himbo. What is this? And I have a friend on there who I'm hoping did very well. I just couldn't sit through it. I was like, this makes me uncomfortable. Everything about it. It just I find the dating shows are weird to me now, especially with my own dating life right now. Something about it, everything to do with that on camera feels so disingenuous to me, and I just can't fly into that. I would hate to meet someone on camera and us do that for TV. I just I don't like that. Feels weird. I don't know, but good luck to all those people on the show. Trust me, and shout out to Victor. I'm happy for him. There's another daddy on there that I think is very attractive that I would talk to, but it's like, I don't know, something else. It's just like, I just can't do this. I can't do it. It's too much. And the way that it's like, hi, I'm what? You're trying to be me. I'm just like, girl, what is going on, girl? Like, what's happening? Everybody's at the pool. Like, it's like, no, not for me. Okay, listen. I'll see you tomorrow for Traitors. If you do want to follow me on my other social media spaces and places, there's a Linktree link in my About section. I do reactions on Patreon for as low as $1 a month, so you can check out all those reactions I did just talk about on my Patreon. There's over 600 plus videos, so scroll on over there. Bookable on Cameo. I got a request today, so I'll make sure to get that done. But also, if you want to book me on Cameo, definitely send me a request. I also have a merch available at dragqueenmerch.com. I'm an affiliate partner with Paramount Plus. If you want a free week on me while I still have my affiliate partnership, please and I don't know how long that's gonna last, but go ahead and get that free weekend and save for the extra so I can get, yeah, okay. and get that done. But yes, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe before you walk out the door. I have to leave now. Hey, Kayla. We've been here for about 2+ hours now talking about Lady Gaga, the challenge, Blink Twice, and other hot topics. Again, I'm trying to have the panel, excuse me, not the panel, but the rant report be the news source or sort of a hot topic menu where it's not that many things, but the things that we're talking about don't have to deal with the horrors currently happening around us as we speak. And it gives us a chance to take a breath and not have to think about the bad stuff, right? And just have fun and talk about some things and sort of just express ourselves. So I send you all my love. I send you nothing but my love out there in the streets right now. Please be safe and take care of yourselves. I need to see you again. I need to see you back here. If you did still want to drop a tippy poo in my jar, please and thank you is paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $MattyRants, and Venmo MattyRants. I'll see you tomorrow for traders, Saturday for Drag Race, and again Sunday for the panel. Love y'all down. Take care. I'll see you for the next one. And yeah, Lady Gaga Mayhem in March. Challenge Rivals All-Stars 5 is now available on MTV. I don't know about Paramount Plus. It should be on Paramount Plus, but it's not. But keep looking. And Blink Twice is now on Amazon Prime. If you wanted to watch it, do so. But heed that trigger warning. Oh, Heedy McBeal. That trigger warning. Please. Please. Because, yeah, it was a lot. Other than that, y'all, I will see you for the next one. Appreciate y'all's support. Until next time.
Listen. Yeah.